All right, thank you. Thanks once more time, and let's move forward with our exercise. So, in the next step, what we have to do, we have to create a flow on the account object, and that flow we are going to create on an account to pass my all account and contact together into the system. All right. So let's go ahead and create a flow first. So what I'm going to do, we are going to create a flow in my arc. So I'm going to click on setup. Come back to the flow, click on flow. Click on new flow. Let's create a record trigger flow as we are calling this particular API, this particular flow from the account object. And whenever a record is created or updated and the condition call met. So in this we have already created one field called send to SFDC on my object as a checkbox. So if I come back to my account object, on the account we do already have created one account field called send to SFDC as a checkbox. This checkbox we are going to use in my flow, and we are going to see whether it's true or false. If it is true and only the record is updated to meet the condition, then only this particular condition should be satisfied. Let's create a flow call account master flow and hit save button. So let me refresh again. Let me see whether its flow is saved or not. Alright, so my flow is saved here. I haven't activated. This is fine. Now from the flow, as you know that we have been calling what you call the API. So I'm calling asynchronously. So I'm going to add 1 minute path here. So after 1 minute, I need to call an API. 1 minute after, call out. So I'm going to add one schedule for path for 1 minute after, because would like to make it as a asynchronous here. So time reference, I'm going to take it as a last modified date after 1 minute after. So 1 minute after my API call will be hit, and that API we are going to call that API that we have built. So this is what the API class, the method that we have created. If you have created a different name, use that a name in our Apex class. So in our flow. Okay. So now we need to call our API here. So before we call our API, let's try to grab my contact, right? So I'm going to get my records, all contact records. So let's get the contact here. So I would like to grab my all contact here. And this contact, I'm going to use the account ID as a filter criteria, and I'm going to use my triggering record ID. So my triggering record account ID is going to match with my all contact. I'm going to fetch my all contact record, and it is also automatically going to store my all the fields, and hit save button. So now my this step is also done. So after that, what we have to do, we are going to create a two variable actually. So one variable is called for my contact record input variable. So I would like to create my contact record input variable here. So let me create a one contact record input, which should be a Apex defined method type. So I would like to create a one variable which is name called contact record input type, which should be Apex defined type, and which should be available as a, and then contact record input as a my class here. So you see the contact record input class is coming here, and then hit done button. So I just created one contact record input as a apex defined variable. I have to create another variable here. So let me create a one more variable called um, account record input variable also. So all right, so let me create a one account record input variable also, which should be a data type of, again, apex method defined. I would like to create account record input also. In that account record input type, I would like to create a label for input and output both. So till now what we have done, we have created a two apex defined variable. One is called contact record input item, another one is called account record input item. So now what we have to do next here, as you know that we have the multiple contact record input, right? So one contact record, then we have a multiple contact record input. So one, we have the variable which is going to be come to from this particular get contact records. We have to hold one by one that value, and that whole some value we are going to insert into the list. So insert into the list, for this list we need to create again a contact record input type actually. So what we are going to do, we are going to create another variable. That variable should be again uh, apex defined method, which should be a contact record input type actually. So contact record input type, but this time this variable is going to have a multiple values, right? So whatever the one value, second value, the third value will come as a contact record one id, second id, third id, or we are going to store into my account record input list actually. So one by one we are going to add to this particular list. So this is what we have created. So this is all three variable as a apex variable defined method type that we have created. Now in that particular account contact, right? So now I have to create one assignment operator to set my account record first. So I'm going to use my sent account record first. So let's create an assignment operator. I'm going to use my set account record in this variable. Okay, so variable is like account record input that we have created. In that account record input, first we need to set my external ID, right? I'm going to set my external ID. So external ID, what? External ID of the triggering record account, right? So I do have the triggering record account, and that triggering account ID I need to set, because I am passing this account ID, the ID which is present in my source arc to the destination arc. Alright, so the triggering record account ID that I am going to attach to my external ID, and that external ID is a variable that we have in our Apex class. So let me show you. In my account record input, I have this particular variable external ID, the name field, phone, website, billing, street, city, everything, right? So these are all variable that we need to map it one by one, step by step. So let's come back and let's create all the variables here step by step. Second, third, fourth. So how many variable we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have a 10 attributes here. So 4 attributes are here. Now come back to the fifth one. 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So we have a 10 attribute we need to associate here. In that 10 attributes, let's do one by one. Come back, external ID. So we have to remove the external ID. Now we are going to use the billing city, and then we have to remove we are going to use the billing country. Then we are going to use another attribute name called billing postal code. Then we are going to use another variable called billing state. We are going to use another variable attribute called billing street, and then another street, and then we have city. City is already mapped. City, country, code, state, street is done. So now after street we have called description, and then after description we do have the name field, name, and the phone, name, phone, and the last one is called website. So these are all account record input have these attributes, and these attributes we are going to set with my account triggering record ID. So the triggering record means the record where we have been calling through the flow. So that flow triggering record will come as a account. So this accounts, all my account field has to be mapped with my all these attribute with the account record input of my Apex class variable actually. So let me copy, and then we are going to select the exact field that we need to map it here. So here we need to map the billing city. Let's remove that and type it city. So we need to map the billing city. Then we have called country. Then we need to map the country here. After the billing country, we need to map the postal code, billing postal code. Then we have a billing state. Select the billing state, then the street. We have mapped the billing street. Now the description field that we need to map. So description of my account. I need to map my name of the account also. I'm going to map the account name. I need to map the phone number of my account. I need to map my website of the account also. So these are all field data are mapped here successfully. Now go ahead and hit save button so that you do not lose the any steps that we have followed so far. So what we have done, we have just created what we call done the assignment for the variable that we have created. We are also going to again loop all my contact, right? So all the loop contact we are going to loop to the all contact, and the all contact we are going to add first one by one in the contact record input item, and then the contact record input item we are going to add to the contact record input list here. So we are going to use the one loop operator here. So in that loop, loop all my all contact. In that loop all contact, we are going to use the get contact record one by one. We are going to read, and after that what we have to do, we have to again I'm going to use my assignment here. So my first assignment I'm going to use to assign my contact record input item assignment. In that we are going to use one variable called contact record input item variable, right? So that contact record input item variable, the variable that we have created called contact record input item type. In that item type we are going to use first the external ID. So let me show you how the contact record input item, what all variable that we have in that Apex class, right? If I come back to my contact record input, I do have the external ID, the first name, the last name, the email ID, and phone number. So we have 5 attribute here. So these 5 attribute we are going to map it in my flow here. So I'm going to use the 5 element here. Just copy this one entire structure. Second attribute, the third one, the fourth one, and the 5th one. So the first one is my external ID. Now I need a first name need to be mapped, and then my last name need to be mapped, right? And then we have to map our email also. Then we have the last one called my phone, I think, yes. So we are passing my contact record ID here in this one, the contact first name, contact last name, contact email, and contact phone. So in the contact loop, right, the current loop, in the contact loop, I'm going to use my contact ID first. So I'm going to use the contact ID here, copy this loop, all contact one by one, and then replace with your variable called first name. So the first name here. So let me paste it here, then we'll replace it. I'm going to copy and paste it here. So let's replace one by one. So I need to map with the first name. from the loop and the last name from the loop. And the email from the loop, and then we have phone from the loop, right? So we have called mobile phone. So all these data are mapped one by one, step by steps. So from the loop we have also mapped my what you call the contact record input item, and once we have final contact record input item, we are going to use the assignment from the for the contact record input list actually, right? So for the list we are going to assign all these variable one by one, all the variable into the new assignment operator in the list that I'm going to add my contact one by one. So this list, the contact record input list, in this list we are going to add the element of all one by one contact record input that we have created. So contact record input item. So this item I'm going to add one by one into my list actually. So this is what we have added here. Once we have called this what you call once it is been done, now we have to call our what you call the method and API that we have. So if I come back here, let's add my action here. So I'm going to use my apex action. So the action is basically the one that we have created a public with sharing apex class, and this is my invocable method, and this invocable method will be available. So let's copy this and let's call this action. So this is what the action will be available here. So I'm going to call API call account with contact API, give us a name, and then in this particular account you need to pass the variable that we have created called account record input. So account record input that you need to pass. Again, I need to pass my all contacts, so I'm going to use my contact record input list here. So I'm going to use the contact record input list, right? So this we are going to set this account and contact, right? So all together. So this account record input have this particular method called patch account and contact, and this method are receiving this input wrapper list type, and this input wrapper list type is what? The input wrapper list type is our account record input type and the contacts actually, right? So these are all two variables that we have mentioned here, right? So the account record input type and the contact contact here. So if I come back to my this one, so you see the account and the contact. So these are all two variables, one account and this contact, which we have been passing into the input wrapper list actually, right? So this is the method which is waiting for accepting our composite input wrapper type actually, and this input wrapper type having consisting of these two values. This is what we have passed. Then hit save button. After you save, let's activate this structure, and once this method is being passed, and that method when we are calling, when we are hitting this one, and this method is going to be hit once we have the send to SDC call out, once the send to SDC checkbox is checked. So let's go ahead and create one nice account here. So I am going to create one account name called IBM Inc. In that IBM I would like to pass my mobile number 95823888885, like website called www.ibm.com, and then I would like to use my street here, 101 Waterloo Road, city called San Francisco, California 110020, billing country called US, and then IBM Inc. This is my theta arg, so I'm IBM Inc. theta. Now from this particular account I would like to create a two contact here. I would like to create a two contact called Matthew. John Matthew. And I have my home, and then I am going to create john@ibm.com. Alright, and then hit save button. Let's create another contact under this. So I'm going to create another contact called Mark Benioff. And then mark@ibm.com, and then hit save button. I can go and create one more. So let's suppose I'm going to create call Renewal, and then @ibm.com, and then hit save button. So as of now on this particular account, I do have these three contacts are available, and so I'm going to my different org in the second org. So if I come back to my second org, if you see, I do not have any IBM account here. If I go and refresh, I do not have any IBM account here. So but if I go and click on send to SFDC, in that send to SFDC, which is going to trigger my flow first, right? And this flow is going to check if the send to SFDC is checked, then fetch all my contact, get set with our apex defined variable, and then set with my apex another variable with the wrapper list, and that wrapper list of all my count and contact is going to be called my invocable apex class, and invocable apex class has this particular patch account and contact composite API, and that API we are performing our graph composite API, and that composite graph API is going to club my all the data and make a one single call out actually. So this is what we are going to do in my single call out. So let's hit save button. As we have mentioned that we are calling as a asynchronous method. So in asynchronous, it will little take time, 1 minute to hit our API. We have also created our ping test as a tab, right? So earlier we have seen that we have created our ping test. So we can check that my integration are working or fine or not. So this ping text will give you the, okay, my name, credentials, whatever we have used is working fine. If I come back to my integration log, I can see my 7 log are being created. I'm waiting for the log that I have just posted. So one of log will be created, the another log will be created once my call out has been triggered after 1 minute. So let's wait for a minute, and then we'll see that records are created successfully or not. So I do have the 14 account here. It should come with the 15 accounts, and if I can see my contact here, I can see the 22 contact under this second R. So in this second R, I can see the 22 contact, right? And I have 14 account. So let's wait for another minute. Let's come back to my source arc. Still not yet triggered actually. So once it is trigger is done, then we will see that information. Let's wait for another minute or so. Yeah, all right. So I can see the number 8 log is created. These are all information is being passed, and let's see the record is created in my destination arc. Okay, now you can see I have the 15 item, the IBM Inc. Theta is also created successfully, and all these three contacts are created successfully. Alright, so this was our objective here. So let me open and see. Okay, so I can see the external asset DC ID. This is the external ID in my target R. In that target R, I'm using this external asset DC ID as a patch operation called upsert operation that we have performed, and we have successfully and nicely mapped my phone number, the website, and the account name. I can see the IBM Inc. Theta is also been here, and for these three, I have all three contacts are also created successfully, right? So these three contacts are created, and these contacts are also mapped here. So if I go and open this contact, you can copy this contact here. We have successfully created all these records, right? And now if I come back to my log file that we have created, right? So this particular FS class is also creating the what you call the request body. So let me reformat my, just do some beautifications here, and let's see. So you see IBM Inc. Theta is my main account, and that account will have my country, street, city, state, website, phone, and name. And this is my reference ID, and under this reference ID we are also associating the first contact called Amea, the second contact is called Matthew, the third contact called Mark Benioff. So these are all three contacts that we have created successfully with help of this particular composite graph API. So this is what the main objective of our Salesforce to Salesforce end-to-end integration. So we have successfully created this particular flow. We have successfully created this particular what you call the APIs, and then we are able to successfully done the integration between these two org with help of our composite API and with help of our flow designer. So this flow designer and the composite API has helped us to send out the data from one of the source org to the destination org end to end. So again, stay tuned for more updates. If you have any further, if you like to learn something new, would like to learn something more about our Salesforce to Salesforce integration or any topic of Salesforce, please reach out to me at my following detail. My name is Amol Maranwal, and my phone is, I am also available on WhatsApp, and my email ID is amol@consulting.com. So you can, I'm totally fine if you guys can reach out to me. I can help you in any one of your training program. Thanks once again. Thanks for joining.